Today is December 31st, 2022. The last day of this year and the last greenhouse video of the year. So, I know some of you may have somewhat to say about this, and that's okay. I know the dangers of it, going out and collecting wild plant species and bringing them in. Especially water species of plants. But I went out and had a fine mesh bag here. You could use a swimming pool net, skimming net. And I went out and found me a pond with a bunch of duckweed. And I skimmed up quite a bit. There's still some in here in this tote that's separating out from the leaves and junk. But I know I could introduce some bacteria and organisms and blah blah blah. Tell you the truth, the goldfish I have in here, the first couple I had, I think I have one from that batch left. The other two come straight from my son's aquarium. He got them at a pet store, little feeder goldfish, and they've grown. But the first few goldfish I had in here were from an old goldfish pond that had been neglected for several years, and it was full of mud and leaves and slime, and probably dirtier than any pond. This is a larger pond I got these out of, and so here we go. Duckweed, if you don't know what it is, it's a very, very small plant that floats on top of the water. Little roots down into the water. Lots of protein, micronutrients that wildlife love, especially its namesake, the ducks. They will eat it. It'll cling to you. Even some of your fish species will eat on this. And I haven't tried it, but I've watched some YouTube videos of people that raise this. Of course, in their aquaponic systems, they'll raise this to the side specifically for feeding to their tilapia. And I have seen where people raise quite a bit of this in plastic totes. And every now and then they thin it out, leave just enough in it. This stuff multiplies really fast. And they'll actually feed it to their chickens and stuff for really nutrient dense treat and feed. So, and I've also seen where they dried it out and fed it to the rabbits and such. I don't know about all that, but here we go. It is looking like a backwater Martian here with the water hyacinth. Y'all seen where I'd gotten that on another video. Brought that from a friend in Louisiana. So I've got water hyacinth in here and the duckweed in there with it. So the goldfish, and my son put a small bluegill in there. There's actually a couple minnows that got cut up in the net that ended up in there. Good for eating mosquitoes out of there. And there should be somewhere in that water a Plecostomus, which is a bottom feeder. And I don't know what else my son threw in there when he decided to take down his aquarium. I used no filtration, nothing in here. These goldfish have been in here a couple years. The water looks really dark. It's just like any lake or pond water. I mean, you can see it's not super. It's just got some, I guess, some tannins in it. And I root plants in here. You see I got sticks down in here. There's actually, these look dead, but there's actually some marshmallow plants that I've got attached to a brick that's sitting in the bottom, and they come back to life every year. So it's kind of my own little mini marsh in here in the middle of my jungle. And the plan is to eventually have a little in-ground goldfish pond, and I think I've showed that to you before. I don't know. Let's see. I've got it sitting right there. I dumped it the other day because it's outside and we had freezing temperatures and had ice in it. I didn't want it to bust, so yeah, I turned it over. we've actually left it out here all year and collected rainwater out of it to give to the plants. So hopefully this next summer sometime I can replace the aquarium with that Go Fish pond, and actually put a little pump and stuff in there and do them right. But I just wanted to show y'all for this last video. I showed y'all the other day where I lost some stuff to the freeze. There you go. That's the shampoo ginger. Had to cut it all the way back, and I just mulched the stuff back on it. The taro, did the same thing there. The spiral ginger insulin plant, most of the leaves, I did the same thing. Where they had any green at all, I left it in the hopes that maybe some photosynthesis would still occur. I cut them way back and started some cuttings right over there in that blue deal. Some cuttings of it, and just kind of cut this back to kind of help it in its stressful time. I could probably cut it back some more. In fact, that one's busted there. Must have brushed up against it and broke it. It's not frozen there. We just hit it with something. Evidently I need to cut that off here in a minute, but yeah, they'll come back. They'll be all right. You see the open hoe here on the papayas. On that papaya there was a lot of frozen leaves on these. Again, all that stuff, any trimmings goes down for mulch. Cut some banana leaves, mulched them back in. All this freeze that happened to us, same thing down here. You see all the stuff I dropped. A little chop and drop and let them feed themselves back down to the soil. But anyways, that's the last video for the year, and hope y'all enjoy it. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are celebrating some time with your families. And yeah, wish me well on this thing here. I'm hoping maybe the Go Fish will eat some of this duckweed. I don't know if they will, but if nothing else, just a thick mat of duckweed and water hyacinth together, that combination may even induce them to breed. So we'll see. If not, whatever. It's fun trying things. I think I'm going to have to get me something, some kind of a floating something put here and scoop all the duckweed out, so I have a clear opening here for when I want to water plants. Which it won't hurt to scoop some of them out. They'll just if I get any of that in the water I scoop up to water a plant, it'll just turn into green fertilizer. They won't live or spread or anything in the pots. Don't keep my pots that wet. So anyways, hope y'all enjoy it, and y'all have a happy new year, and God bless.